What is poppin', everybody? Welcome to episode 76. Damn, that's like a lot, many more days, whatever, older than how old I am. But anyway, for no particular reason, I'm here with my amazing co-host, Yankov. I am Kerri Lewis, and we are here to talk about anything and everything and anything in between that comes to our hearts on this beautiful Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Central, and whatever time Pacific.
Pacific, 7 Pacific.
What's poppin',
That's right.
Yanko?
I'm very excited to be here. I'm thinking it's just the flow. We're getting in episode 76. They just keep rolling and we keep showing up and we're having fun. So this is amazing.
Yeah,
you
I was
know?
thinking as we went live though, I'm like, damn, our intro is basic, and I am not basic, so I'm just saying we need to update it. But that actually leads me to what was on my heart this morning. So I sent a quote. All right. So when I lived with my children's father in the house, I put a huge, massive, well, let's be clear, I had him put a huge, massive quote on my wall that I would walk by every day. And it's by Marianne Williamson from her book, A Return to Love. And I'm going to read it because it bears on this conversation. So let me pull it up. Okay. So this is what I read for years. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, the question should be, who are you not to be? You are a child of creation. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened, and I believe this, about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of creation that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it is in everybody, which is why Yanko and I do this show. That's real shit right there. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Now, for the listening audience, I substituted creation with the word God because that just vibes with me. But so why do I read that? Well, one, I align deeply with that message, but even more so, I had an individual reach out to me and they said, well, that's beautiful and all, but what about being humble? So this is my topic for today, Yanko, is humility. So I, of course, always have something to say on whatever topic we're talking about. So, but do you want to share your thoughts about her question, or do you want me to dive in and then you jump in?
No, go ahead. I'm already vibing with the whole thing. Let's see where it takes us.
I know that I am a queen. I know that I'm limitless. I am expansive. I am boundless energy. And I know that I co create with creation. I also know, and this is through experience, not reading some books, that I co create and I get to create the experience I want. So, of course, I'm going to create in joy. Now, my humility comes into play when I also know the equal truth that I'm no better than anybody else. Whether it is a homeless man shooting up dope on the street, or the president of the United States, somebody who's a multi-billionaire in the United Arab Emirates, or whether it is somebody who is working 3 jobs to make it so that they can provide, right? I'm no better than them. But that does not mean I'm going to play small. And I know my worth. And I'm going to shine so damn brightly and in hopes of knowing that I am a queen. That gives other people permission to know that they can shine brightly too. And that to me is a definition of like being humble, in my opinion. I would love to hear what your take on humility is.
I mean, I don't have like a strict definition because I'm finding myself lately that anything that I define myself to be, it's kind of limiting. Um,
Everything is limiting once you put a definition on it, but I get what you're saying.
right. So, and I don't think of it like when I go through life, I don't think of defining things, and I don't. Of course, the programming goes in with, oh, this is that, and naming things for the ease of use or whatever. But lately, I'm just finding myself of just being in the moment and being excited about things because everything is different. Although it looks like it's the same, it's not. Like I was just driving last night from the park coming back home, and I'm going through the same street, but everything looks monotonous. Like I already know everything, but I'm like, I'm gonna look for the new stuff because there's new stuff, and sure enough, there's this like a beautiful light fixtures on the side by the street with the flowers, and I was in the moment. I was just like, wow, this is kind of nice. So I don't go and name things and define things. I just rather be.
Yeah, but you and me, I'm always going to come back and fight with you on this because you still
Of
are a
course,
human having a human
of course,
experience. And
that's right.
telling me that you have no understanding of what humility um could be in context to great spiritual textures, because like look, you and me are both well read, we're constantly vibing on books, and so yes, is the reality of our experience to get back to ultimate peace, like 100%, that's real talk, guys. But for the sake of the fact that you and I are both teachers, and we're teachers by embodying as well as sharing, would you not say that there is a perspective or a way in which an individual can show up in the world, right? And there is. So, yeah, I can equally think I am a queen, co creating with
Of
creation,
course, yeah,
godlike, right? So many spiritual teachers say that we exist, we are
that's
godlike,
right. That's right.
and still recognize that I'm no better than you. And that's the important part that I really want the listening audience to understand, is that I I get what Yanko's saying, right? When you're super present in the moment. But the reality is we all fall asleep. We all come from a place of um ego at times. Unless you are an highly enlightened being. And then, that would be a whole different conversation. And I don't know that this show, I would be part of that show because I'm not there. No, I'm just keeping it
Well,
real.
you are. You just tricked yourself to think that you're not.
Well,
That's
okay. So
everyone is, and this is why I'm not gonna go there because all those enlightened teachers, if you look at their writings or materials, and they all have the experience one way or another, but their experiences are unique. They're not the same. I mean, they're all coming to something that it's beyond words and comprehension that you can describe. You can put it to idea or describe it to somebody. You just have to experience it,
yeah, but
and
there's
that's
a there is a roadmap to get to that experience, Yanko.
sure.
But here, like, listen, I'm sorry, but your thought. Okay, so I just had a conversation.
No, that's okay. I love it so far. I mean, this is why we're having this. Go ahead.
But there is a roadmap, right? And humility is part of that roadmap. Like, if I think that I am better than another individual, well, that's a separation.
That's
And
right.
so that is an important piece to touch upon for the listening audience, because I want people to recognize I'm not going to play small. I promise I'm not playing small, but I'm also not going to think I'm better than you. So shout out to our listener on Instagram. I appreciate you saying hey. Um, but that is so important, and that's why, like, I understand you and me get into the weeds of deep theological studies and experience, right? We both in our own
Mhm.
right have had the experience um of whatever, right? To your point, it's indescribable. But I also feel that as a an embodiment of love, I have a responsibility to highlight ways in which other people can show up from a place of love. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. See, the reason I was gonna say that is because once you understand that you're not a part of the whole and you're always connected, you, it looks just like you're a separate being, but you're connected. Once you understand that, it's like harming yourself. You're not gonna go and cut your finger off or anything like that. So you're not gonna, and then there's not need to struggle to be humble because there's the recognition. You already recognize that everything is one and everyone just shows up the way they're supposed to show up. Kind of like this is a hand. It just shows up as a hand, and this is another hand. So this one is not better than this one. They look the same, but they also look separate. Um, and so in the same way, once you come to that realization, there's no need to be humble. It's not like something that you have to do, like forcefully be yourself happy or be yourself humble. And this is why I'm not talking about it in a way that you talk about it. Um, and then the other thing is that in order to understand that, you have to play the separate game. You have to be separate. And for me, to understand the other side of the coin, to be separate.
People are, but there's a lot of people operating from a place of this belief that they're separate. So, two things. One, I love that you explained it the way you just did, because that is something that people can grasp, right? To to be able to say, okay, when you get to a certain level of consciousness, you understand we're all one. So like me thinking poorly, harming, believing I'm better than somebody else is harmful to myself. We understand that, you and I understand
Hmm.
that. But that was a really beautiful way of highlighting that for the listening audience, and also recognizing, right, you got to meet people where they're at. And so if I sit and talk in these euphoric, like, for what some people would feel very grandiose terms, right? Saying, I don't even think that way. I'm just present in the moment. How are we teaching them? Like, I'm,
Well, I'm not teaching them. I'm just sharing the
of
space
course you
time with
are.
the
I
people.
disagree. We're always the teacher and the student. That's bull crap. We're always the teacher and the student. You're constantly teaching me things, and you're constantly learning things. And I'm constantly teaching people things, and I'm constantly learning things. I think that is part of the collective conscious experience.
Well, it is. And again, if you show up the way you show up, like you do, that'll spark some kind of interest in people or might get them out of their comfort zone because you can do that otherwise with words. Well, you might, depends on like if you're some kind of author or send them some kind of a I don't know, poetry that'll break their brain or pattern of thinking, like Gen Z or Janzu or whatever his name is, pronounced properly. But usually it just show up
I think
and you do your thing. Yeah, go ahead.
I get what you said. I really do. Like, we both understand. I do understand from a very visceral knowing that any label limits, right? So if I identify as a teacher,
Mhm.
I block myself up out from being a musician and a whatever. Like I box myself into. But that does that's kind of like the quote that I just read, right? I can know that me embodying love, me just being present in this moment is also planting a seed, giving somebody else a different perspective, thus
That's right.
teaching them to consider to have another experience. Do I think I'm a teacher? Not per se. I don't identify as a teacher, but am I kidding myself if I say that how you and I show up embodied in this world isn't teaching other people? That, yeah, of course it is. And it's interesting because I was thinking about this the other day. Nana and I have seen so many cosplay people blow up. And and I
In what way though? Like
showing
getting
up more fully
famous or
expressed.
oh, okay.
No, no, showing up
Okay.
more fully expressed, showing up and
Mm.
not giving a shit what anybody else thinks about them, like just
Okay.
wearing what they want at a concert or whatever. And I know in part that that's because of examples that they get to bear witness to, whether it's
Mhm.
other cosplayers or Nana or whatever. I don't know, and it doesn't matter. But again, this goes back to the idea that we are all teachers and students all the time. I'm constantly observing and taking in information, and then even without consciously thinking about it, analyzing it and embedding that into my knowings, you know what I mean? And in my doing that, I'm also teaching other people whatever it is they're meant to learn, because we're all each other's miracles. And this is the thing that I share. For any of the listening audience out there, I've studied world theology. Right now I'm reading the Upanishads. However, I will say that my core roots, my foundation of knowing has come from A Course in Miracles. And in that, it speaks greatly of the fact that we are all each other's miracles all the time.
That's right.
I'm a miracle for somebody else, as Yanko's a miracle for me, and it's ever present and always flowing. So like it doesn't you get a miracle and it's gone. Like we're all miracles for each other, and it may be in the most unexpected ways. Like even Yanko a few weeks ago or a month ago shared with the listening audience, even if you flip somebody off, that could be their miracle, that could be the
Mhm.
catalyst that they need
That's
to
right.
make a different choice. So
That's
just being able
mm.
to, again, I am a queen in creation, and in that queenness, that amazing gift of unique strand of the collective consciousness, I have the ability to imprint on the other pieces of me that show up differently, and knowing that is okay, I believe, anyway.
You're 100%. Because you're also entitled to your own experience, and this
Hell
is the
yeah.
beauty of being and this is the beauty of being in this world, because everyone is entitled to freedom of will, and everyone should, or not should, but be able to experience the reality they wanted to experience it, and we're only sharing it because we're all um, the same as the hands that I was showing, but also different. And I don't go down that road because I can force somebody to do something they don't want to do. I
Uncle,
I
people wouldn't
like.
be watching this if they weren't meant to watch it. Like again, we're talking. We got. I'm so spicy with you right now because
I know, but
magnet.
for some reason I like that. I don't know
Oh
why.
my, well, because like you're getting the Gemini fiery spice with Kerri right now. But again, hey, maybe I need to feel hot and bothered. I am going through menopause, y'all, and that is a whole level of fucking weird.
Well, maybe in another time or a lifetime, I've experienced what that would be like.
I mean, it's an experience. It's so funny because I am traditionally in past experiences, right? My kids know to me to always be cold. I mean, I sleep with a winter blanket during the summer. And lately I've been like, man, I need the AC on. And the two of them are like, what the hell happened to you, mom? Because you ain't that person. And I'm like, I know I'm hot and bothered. I'm spicy.
But to circle back to what you were saying, yeah.
Rabbit hole. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I lately I'm finding myself enjoying company of people, and I know they're perfect the way they are, and they might be hard on themselves and say, well, this is what I don't want to be, or this is what I want to be, or whatever. And I just share that space time with them and let them be whatever they want to be, because that's why we're here.
I don't know who sings it. That reminds me of the song. I know I can be what I want to be what I want to be. If I think hard at it, if I think hard at it, I can be what I want to be. Which I totally switched up the song because the end part wasn't really real. But
Well, no,
I
but it sounded great. Shout out to you.
but no, I can hold space for individuals and know that they are perfectly divine and whole. And yet, if their experience is suffering and they so choose to want to shift out of suffering, I feel it is my gift. It is a gift for all of us to be able to extend myself in a way that might be of service to them to have a different experience. You know what I mean? And that's where you and I are very much aligned, Yanko, is we are having our own experience. You get to have your experience, right? You're happy sitting in experiences that you couldn't pay me to sit in, right? Like I am going to be having the best fucking time with joy-filled people in alignment to love. And if that feels hard or doesn't align for an individual, that's cool. I'm not here to change you or judge you, but you're not doing life with me. That's just that's real shit.
I mean,
And
they can force themselves to do it anyways, because that'll just feel awkward for
yeah,
them,
but that's
because
my
that's how it is. Like, if they're not on the same vibe, they're just not going to be able to, there's not going to be common connection, things to talk about or do anything with, you know.
and that's why. But for you, you're cool with being around some unconscious people, and that's equally cool because that it gets to be your experience. However, where we are aligned is that um we don't have an expectation of people. Like I don't
Mm,
expect some of my
right.
family members to shift their perspectives. I don't expect them to have a different level of consciousness. I also know that I get to experience this world and my human experience the way I want. And if their perspectives don't align or I don't resonate with them, it's not that I want to make them wrong. I just don't want to do life with them. And I'm fine with it. I'm totally chill with it. And I can still see that they're whole and complete and beautiful gifts. They're
That's
just
right.
beautiful gifts that I don't want to dance with,
So
literally.
so 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 here is something that comes to mind. Um, Sometimes I watch Bashar, and for the people that don't know who Bashar is, it's future version of Daryl Inca, I think his name is, that he gets in a trance state and he channels, or gets telepathic messages from. Anyway, he says that the love, which is in the core of everything, that we're all like coming from the love, it's it doesn't put any restrictions or any expectations. It supports you unconditionally because it loves you, and that's the bottom line. There's no need to show up a certain way or to do anything. It just is. And
Mm-hmm.
and that's what come to mind, because he was talking about it and I had a aha moment where is that, it's subtle, it's there, it's always supporting, like you have the air to breathe everything. um, it's unconditional. You want to do that, then it's like fine, I'll support you anyways. It could be bad for you, but I love you so much that I'll support you on this bad endeavor that you go into, or in the good endeavor you go into, or the experience you want to have, because it's unconditional. There's no condition, it just loves you unconditionally. So
Well,
that's, yeah, go ahead.
what? All right. So let's shift this to a science perspective, right? So
I
you
love
go
it.
from right, and so a positive energy and a negative energy cannot exist in the same plane.
Mhm.
You can neutralize a negative energy with a positive, or a positive energy with a negative, but they don't exist in the same plane. And so what you're saying, and I shared this with somebody earlier today because it's super important, we are created from this unconditional love, right? And science has measured it. We know that the energy of an unconditional love is out of this world powerful, right? It just is. And there are a lot of documented evidence and quantifiable data that shows this. So we
Yeah.
understand. Well, to your point, unconditional love doesn't have an expectation. And this
Mm.
is where, if you want to marry science and spirituality, right? This is where people say, well, God has given us the gift of free will, because like unconditional love is like, Yanko, you can be a miserable fuck. I'm still gonna love you.
Yeah.
And Kerri, you're gonna be sit and enjoy, and I'm still gonna love you. I love you so much. I'm not gonna force you to have a different experience. Now, going back to what I was saying in regards to my like people's perspectives, a lot of the world operates from a negative energy, a negative charge, right? Conditioned thoughts and ideologies and behaviors. Doesn't make them bad. It's just what they know, and they haven't made a choice to have a new experience, and they haven't learned that.
That's
I
right.
exist in a positive energy, and I operate in that positive energy. I'm not interested in letting anything, which would be myself, by the way, because we are reflections. Everybody reflects back to us, and we both have both negative and positive energies in us. That is the makeup of this universe, this experience, this collective consciousness, right? We just exist in both of those dualities. One's not good or bad, it just is. However, you feed what it is you want to experience. I'm not interested in feeding the negative. I'm just not, because one, I know it weakens me. I'm more inclined to have mental health issues. I'm more inclined to have physical health issues. I'm more inclined to suffer than if I'm in a positive energy. And that is why what you were saying around, yeah, you are perfect. If you are making a choice that may be harmful, that may cause you to lower your energy, your vibration, it doesn't matter. You're still perfect. You're fine. It's just that understanding science and understanding spirituality, I choose to stay in this positive energy. And in the work that I do on myself, and I hope that I embody to the world, I encourage people who are existing in this more negative energy, operating from these lower vibrational frequencies, consider a different perspective. And if you don't want to, I don't think any less of you. It doesn't matter one iota to me. Actually, no. The collective is impacted by everybody. So I'm lying. It actually does matter to me, because if the sum of all the people, if many like, so Let's do math. One person in unconditional love, right, offsets 480,000 people who operate in fear. They've measured this through the logarithmic scale in kinesiology. So we just say that. So yeah, do I want more people to shift into positive energies because it will offset the quote unquote destruction, which is an illusion, but let's just say that we bear witness to in this human experience? Yeah. However, if you don't want to, I'm not going to judge you, condemn you, or think any less of you. But I do know that there's a different experience that could give you much more power, and that you could just, in my opinion, have a hell of a lot more fun in tapping into. But I'm not biased. I'm not going to dislike somebody for not leaning into that.
Well, again, like I said, if if people are on different vibe, they're just not gonna vibe with each other, and there's not gonna be need to for you to do anything. Um, they're gonna coexist with you, and this is the one thing that a lot of people talk about that it's not understood about the shift that we're still going to be in the same reality. We're just not going to see each other. I mean, you're not going to pay attention because you're going to be so much in your own world. You're going to be concentrating into like getting to your job or doing something else. And you're going to be so much within that everything else is just going to be like a background. You're going to be there, but you're not going to be there. And the same as you. If you are having fun, and then there's other people that are having fun, and they're in a group because of the fun. That's what they're concentrating in, and they're going to be able to be in that moment. And everything else, it's still going to be a background. So there is not really a need for you to do anything because it just happens automatically because you create the choices, you create your reality, and sometimes that happens unconditional, unconscious, and sometimes that happens consciously.
And
And
I believe that my responsibility being conscious is to help the next person become conscious or more aware. Because if you're unconscious and you truly don't know, and I get it, like I grew up in a very fear-based reality. My parents operate from pure logic and fear. They are driven by thought. I grew up in a society, right? I look at America, right, that uses its most expensive expenditure is defense, right? That speaks to a very unconscious society. Not good or bad, just unconscious. But I do feel that I have, because I have a new awareness that I have experienced. And this is the point that I really want people to understand. I'm not here to sell you on religion, God. I'm not here to sell you on science or quantum physics. I don't care. But I am here to give you information so that maybe you can apply it to your own life and have an experience. And that's it. Is I went from drinking 2 bottles of wine at night, like feeling truly victimized by my life, to being super empowered and knowing that, man, this life is amazing and I can co-create some incredible things. And the other thing I want to highlight for people, because somebody said this to me earlier today, oh, I'm really working on manifesting. Let me just tell you guys, you're manifesting all the time. It's just, are you getting clear on what you're manifesting? Because if you're in a negative energy, you are going to manifest a negative experience. If you are
mm,
victimized by life, if you know your parents were unfair to you and you grew up in an alcoholic home, blah blah blah, and that's all you see, the world is going to reflect back to you that truth. And that's what Yanko was speaking of when we see this divide. And then if you shift into a more empowered, the world is like, life is happening for me. I get a choice. What choice can I look at? How can I experience this? Well, then, right, you operate from a completely different perspective and you can experience joy. And I'm going to give you a real life example because it matters. Nana and I were in New York City and the elevators went out. We were staying on the 21st floor. Now,
Mm.
there are a lot of people that I watched. Oh my God, this is such bullshit. This hotel, blah, blah. I looked at Nana and I'm like, now, granted, I did have a couple moments because, I'm human. And as I said earlier, and I was challenging Yanko, I have an ego and I get stuck in it, but I can pull myself out of it quickly. I was like, oh my God. I'm going to go through everything that I'm grateful for. Thank you so much, Kerri, for working out every day and having strong legs. Thank you so much, Big Toe, for being able to bend and keep me upright. Thank you so much for having biceps that I can lift up my luggage. Thank you so much for me being so present in the moment that I was able to see the people on the sixth floor who were bringing their luggage down who weren't fit, and me and Nana could help them. Thank you so much. And that is what I mean by being able to shift your perspective. I could have easily jumped on the bandwagon of this is bull crap. We paid all this money. The elevator needs to work. I got to walk up and down all these flights of stairs every day. I have to bring my, or I could be like, damn, I really appreciate my body right now. I'm the bee's knees. And that's what I chose to do. And as a result, I had more beautiful experiences. I had deep, meaningful conversations with the lady at the front desk, with the maintenance guy, Oscar, with the hotel manager. I was given a free ticket to go to Anime Con on Sunday and met all of Nana's favorite people. So it really is, if you choose the positive, more positive will come back to you. But if I chose the negative, I can assure you more shit would happen. It's just the way it works.
It is, and and it's also a perspective of whether set something as positive or negative. Because like you said, climbing up the stairs, it could be a negative or a positive experience, depends on the point of view.
100.
So if you're a person that's, say right now you're losing weight and you take any chance to exercise and you see that and you go like, great, this will support me and I'll have more chances to lose weight going up and down the stairs instead of um, taking the elevator. But then if you're on the other end, when you're a person that's like constantly on the run, maybe you're a server, hostess or whatever, you're staying in your legs all day long, you're looking for that one day in the weekend when you're just gonna go and chill and do nothing, then your perspective will change and that'll be horrible for you. You're not gonna wanna be climbing up and down the stairs in your off day. So it's all based on personal
But we're
perspective.
magnets, and how we see this moment creates more moments like that. That's just reality, Yanko. Like, I'm sorry, but I get what you're saying. But even I think about oh my God, Viktor Frankl's book, A Man's Search for Meaning. I mean, this man was in Auschwitz. Okay, he was watching people go into the gas chamber and being gassed to death, like the loss of life. And he, in that moment, right, he could totally have felt victimized by life, and he chose not to. He chose to have a different perspective, and that's what I'm talking about when we say we have free will. I absolutely get the chance to choose. And here's the other thing, guys. This is what I encourage people to do, because I work with individuals who they will have leaned into, a more supportive for them choice that feels better, and then something happens and they start thinking negative. The beauty of life is you can reset in an instant. Like, you don't have to wait years, you don't have to wait days, you don't have to sit in suffering for hours. If you catch yourself, if you feel good, and all of a sudden you feel like crap, and you feeling like crap, and you're feeling like crap, and you're feeling like crap, you don't have to wait. You can be like, wait a minute, I can make a different choice right now. And that is the power. And the other thing is, guys, there's science. And this is where I'm going to say, force is always going to create an opposite equal force, right? And action always creating an opposite and equal action. So I use this beautiful analogy of the stairs. Let me fast forward to the day that Nana and I were going home, where there's a massive line getting on the train. Massive line. Me and Nana get in a line, we're chilling. All of a sudden, these two individuals try to cut me off. In the grand scheme things, not a big deal. But for whatever reason, I was like, oh no, not today. Ain't gonna happen. So I didn't let them right. And then I thought something about right and wrong, which I had literally, guys. This is how quick I catch my thoughts. I'm like, oh my God, what's right or wrong? Like, who cares? However, I put that energy out. I did, and I owned it. And I know force is going to create an opposite and equal force. So guess what happens? Nan and I walking down the train. We get into the train. We wait 20 minutes for a seat and we end up behind the very people who tried to cut me off in the first place. And I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, well, there you have it, buddy. That's a beautiful experience. And I love you so much. And in that moment, right, I chose gratitude. I chose gratitude for the reminder that the energy that I choose to send out, and it's a choice in every moment, is the energy that I'm going to get back. And I'm not perfect and I pop off. I'm a spicy little Gemini girl, Irish, Portuguese, and Italian who can be hot headed and cuss somebody out with the best of them. But instead of when something happening back to me, me being like, oh, this is unfair, I'm like, oh, yeah, I see where I did that to myself. I'm yep, I get it. Thank you so much for the reminder.
I was just about to say that when I was giving that example with the perspective that all you have to do is change your mind and change your reality, but you took it and you ran with it. uh, because again, it's the choice you take to that creates your reality. You always have the choice
Yeah,
to see the things differently. They might present themselves in a way which you consider to be horrible or good or bad, and then you have a choice to prove yourself that it's not like that, or change your perspective.
yeah.
Because the same way you made that choice and you programmed yourself to come to that conclusion that this is bad or good or whatever, you can have the same choice. They're all the same, they're just the other side of the coin, it's the same thing.
100%. But for me, it's always going to be, again, my intention every day is I am an open vessel to which pour and receive love to myself and anyone that I come into experience with, and to laugh a lot. And so I always ask myself, is the choice I'm making coming from that perspective? And most often it is. Sometimes it's when it's not. I am so loving to myself that I don't beat myself up. I laugh and I'm like, oh, because again, I will bear the repercussions of me choosing not to show up in love. Like I just own that. Like it is a universal law. Like there's no escaping it. And that's why in all of the spiritual scriptures, whether you're talking about the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, the Tao Te Ching, A Course in Miracles, you name it, all of them, there are core universal laws, right? Like, and the only reason that is because what it's trying to help people understand is what you do to others, you do to yourself. And that, if you're putting out love to others, it's coming back to you. But if you're putting out harm to others, it's coming back to you. And so all of the scriptures really marry beautifully into quantum theory and physics, talking about energy and, just universal laws of science.
I mean, that's all good and all for everybody that it's still not aware to a level, because this is like somebody telling you that's how it is. But if you really want to find out, then you can. And when you have the experience of the oneness, then you're going to know beyond the shadow of a doubt. Not because text or religion, or I said it, or Kerri said it, or somebody else said it. It's just an experience. So once you have it, you understand. But I'm saying, like, most of the people are just too occupied being themselves and thinking of me, and what I'm gonna do next and this and that, to be able to go back to being in the moment and recognize the oneness.
I think,
So
yeah, but everybody even knows me, woman, blah, blah, blah.
yeah.
People have moments of oneness because and I know we all do. We all tap in. Like we just do. It's just how fast you get back to unconsciousness, and that's really what it is. But you are right. Like I can't even kill a tick, and Nana sometimes gets frustrated with me if like he sees an ant in his house or whatever. He knows I'm not. I do no harm means do no harm. Because then I'm harming myself. Why do I want to do that? That doesn't even make sense. Um, and so that I really fundamentally understand oneness. And everybody gets it in moments, right? That moment. And that's why be still and know I am God is a quote. Like, be still. Like you will feel it. And to Yanko's point, like I'm not here to sell you. First off, I hate religion. I'm sorry. I will say it. It is garbage. Organized religion.
Thank you.
Organized religion is nothing but a business. It is no different than working for a corporation or conforming to a country's societal expectations. You are following dogma and it creates separation and division. If you look at where the most divisive, okay, I love this. In Massachusetts yesterday, a guy takes his beautiful daughter to school, feels the need to interject himself on an individual who's spraying graffiti on a pro-Palestine something or whatever, gets shot to death. Okay? Now, you know what's even crazier to me? Well, it's not because I know how people work, but I'm just saying. Somebody that I know who studies spirituality, his response was, I wonder if the outcome would have been different had the person who was shot had a gun. And I wrote, and I stand by this, I know the outcome would have been different if both parties came from love and neither came from pride or righteousness, because that's true. And that is my thing about organized religion and all this dogma. Not Yanko and I study a lot of scriptures, and I know because he shares them with me and I share shit with him. Neither one of us sit here and say, oh, this is word of law. None of us. Both of us sit here and be like, oh, that's interesting. I wonder how I could apply that. I might try that. Oh, that doesn't serve me. Because, right? Science proves that we are most powerful in our unique, authentic self, which means that we have to find that oneness for ourselves, not from any other scripture. And scripture, right? Like scripture that is written from that oneness says the same thing. In fact, in the beginning of A Course in Miracles, the book basically says, do not take this book as word of law, right? Take what serves you and toss the rest. And when people understand that you can go fishing and connect with oneness, that you can dress up in cosplay and connect with oneness, that's where you'll see a huge collective consciousness shift.
I mean, if you're here, you're already connected. You can't be not connected.
Telling you,
So it's not and this is like limitation of language, I think, because you say
it's a
you either connected or you're not connected. Well,
we're
you
all
are.
you know what? It's so fun. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Yanko. I'm so glad. Okay. We had this so I got into a spicy conversation with a bishop on the train coming back. I know that surprises you. So
Okay,
there's this
let's hear
gregarious,
it.
oh my God, gregarious, like just jovial soul gets on the train, and I hear him, but I'm like a few seats back, whatever. Anyway, I have to pee, and I go to pee, and he's right there, and I always look at people and smile with my eyes, and he smiles back, and he's like, I forget today's a good day. I'm like, today's a blessed day. And anyway, so we get into this conversation. And so I said to him, I something along the lines of, love exists within all of us. God is within all of us. And he immediately shut that down. He's like, absolutely not. God is not within all of us. I know, I'm a bishop. And this is how I went. And I was like, what do you mean?
Sure,
And he's
sure.
like, well, there's evil and blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, but God exists within all of us, or we would cease to exist. Absolutely not. So he like immediately, there was no me having this conversation. So I didn't. I was like, you know what? This was a blessed conversation. I really appreciate knowing you, whatever. I go back to my seat, and Nana happened to be there for some of the exchange. And I said, we wouldn't exist without creation. Like whether, and this is where like the science, this is where I try to like, there is negative, which, okay, so yes, I can choose to murder somebody. Some people identify that as evil, or some people identify that as being what is it, taken over by the devil. There, in science terms, in layman's terms, for the average person, negative energy. Those people fed negative energy. I just choose to feed positive energy. Both exist within creation. So to Yanko's point, and I totally agree with you, and I like get it, like words do limit, because like we know, because we've had the experience, but you can't put it in. But the reality is of course is God in everybody. And what even fucking bothered me more was that, and this is why I go off about religion, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna say it again. There's an individual teaching people that God doesn't exist in everybody. How the hell do you show up in love if you're gonna condemn somebody right off the bat? Why? Because they operated from negative energy. I did for years, and you know why? Because I didn't know differently. Does
Well,
that
how?
make me a
Well,
bad
well,
person?
here's an idea for you. How would you know that this whoever was condemning somebody was actually condemning somebody? If
Oh
this
yeah,
was their reality, if this was their reality, and they believed in their reality, it was kind of the same way when you're talking about love. So they were propagating their beliefs
yeah.
and trying to impose their beliefs in somebody else, telling them like, okay, this is how it is. Not because they're bad people, they're just having that perspective in that's their belief system right now. It
I
could
didn't
change
say he's a
tomorrow.
bad person. I do take issue with the fact that here's the thing. If we look at the collective consciousness as a whole over the course of history, over the course of history, there have been much more um people who have opted to teach from that fear-based reality. And you're right, he gets to, but because I've had a different experience, and because I know the power that lies with each person, including murderers, including rapists, including all these people that one would condemn as evil, there is no way that I in my reality will ever be okay subscribing to that, nor do I wish to see that continuously perpetuated, because that is creating the separation that you and I talked about a half an hour ago, around the fact that you and me know oneness, but there's a hell of a lot more people who know separateness.
I mean, before I knew oneness, I needed to know separateness. I needed to know all that. I needed to know what it feels like to be in that mindset, where maybe have a job, or where I'm taught to be a priest and I'm taught to, spread dogmas and do whatever they taught me that I thought it was good to do. The same way you go to school and they teach you different things and you get programmed, and that's becoming your belief system. So you have to know the one in order to know the other, because if there's no separation or any kind of difference between, you're not going to have the
Right.
experience. Yeah.
Oh, I get
So,
it. I really do. And yet,
and again, I'm not saying that to like argue with you or to convince you, because we both vibe. Like you said, we exchange text and other information that could spark a aha moment or some kind of thought or anything that might go like, that's kind of interesting, or perspective. Um, but yeah, it's just how it is. Um, so yeah, he did his thing. He thought that's okay, and there's no like God
well,
doesn't
okay,
exist
so
in
here's the thing.
everybody's.
My ego's gonna kick in real quick, guys. Like, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
that's
I,
okay.
I'm keeping it real.
I love your ego though.
No, but I'm gonna keep it real because, but here's the thing: from an observer, okay, we have this bishop. The man was pushing 350 to 400 pounds, and like his whole human body appeared weakened, right? That's just he's using a walker to walk and stuff. So this is where I don't tell anybody, and I don't ever want to. So when I say that, I course correct. I encourage people to consider a different perspective, because while Yanko, and again, I love you, and you and me, I get it. Like, I totally align with what you're saying. But for the person who, where me and Yanko's consciousness vibes don't quite get it yet, this is what I will say. The very man who is preaching that there's sin and there's evil and that God ceases to exist in people has a low vibration. And how do I know that? Well, the reality is he's got a lot of health issues. I know, he, like, you could see it, and and so again, cause and effect, guys. Like, I don't care. Like, to Yanko's point, he gets to have that experience in this lifetime. Maybe he's meant to be using a walker. Maybe he's meant to, have the issues that he was having, and he had several that were evident in front of me. That's his choice. But if you are having some of those experiences and you're like, I'm kind of ready for a change, I'm just saying, shift to positive energy, and a lot of that will change. And that's why all spiritual texts, no matter what it is, Eastern, Western, whatever, you know what it says? If you want to know peace, if you want to teach peace, know peace, which means if you want your external experience to change, know it inside and make that choice from that place. So change yourself internally, and then your physical appearance changes, your mental health appearance changes, addiction cease to exist, you start to attract people that you vibe with in more joyful times instead of negative times, and so on and so on and so on. Yes. And
So
on
where were
that
you
note,
going?
we're wrapping.
So where were you going with this? Because I kind of like, I was
See,
trying to follow.
no,
Was it
so
about?
this
Was
man,
it? Was it about him, or was it like?
the energy, his energy attracts his experience, and his experience is direct. You can see a lot of it is not a positive experience. I'm just saying. Now that's from my perspective. That's what
Uh,
Yanko's gonna say. But I'm just saying, guys. I'm just saying.
well,
And the clarity
if
say,
you look at it,
I did say I was
let,
an
let
ego. So you can't even correct me because I already know where I'm coming from.
I wasn't trying to correct you. I was just gonna bring up a different experience from like a higher vantage point. Let's say that we're not concentrating to this like now this lifetime alternate reality.
Yep.
He maybe was in the other end of it, and
Oh,
now
100%.
he has to come back to balance this out and be on the other end where he's a bishop. Maybe in when he was in the other alternate line, Bishop did that to him. So now he have to come back and understand it as one that propagates that and goes and says, "Oh, there's no God in everybody." Like I just have to experience separateness from that far apart, and I'm so separate that I only think that I'm the blessed. Nobody else is.
So the listening audience, so you guys all know, I am very clear on the fact that I am not interested in perpetuating my own birth, death, rebirth cycle. And so I am choosing love and choosing to lean into whatever feels good for me in this moment in hopes that at some point I experience that, which we all will anyway, because we'll all go back into the collective creation of whatever. But anyway, on that note, that's our time. This was a very engaging conversation. I had
I know. we, we're making it more fun every time.
Hey, listen, what can I say?
Well, thank you guys for sticking around, for audience that watches, vibe with us, having this kind of conversations. It always happens every Friday. Not the same exact conversations where we're talking about bishops and things, but you'll get the gist of it. Something else will come along, and it'll be fun. I promise.
I
So
promise. Thank you guys so much. And, stay curious.
that's
If
right.
you can suspend what you think you know, what you
And,
know will change.
and we'll see you on the flip side.